Oh,
Good
a
to
little
see you.
bird told me you had some Willy Wonka stuff?
Rick Harrison, once one of the most recognizable faces from the hit series Pawn Stars, is now navigating a difficult chapter in his career.
I don't care if you got diplomatic immunity, you're not going to get it back unless you pay me.
Though the show first brought him massive success and widespread fame, several factors have slowly contributed to the downturn he faces today.
6 months later, a judge said he was the first one there, give him the license.
In this video, we'll explore the key reasons behind Rick Harrison's career struggles
You have to understand, a lot of people show up at a pawn shop, they're in a desperate situation.
and how they've affected the once booming gold and silver pawn shop. Rick Harrison, long celebrated as the expert voice and central figure of Pawn Stars, has experienced both triumphs and setbacks throughout his decades in the pawn business. Now in his late 50s, the realities of aging and the idea of stepping back from work have become more relevant than ever. Rick's path was far from typical from the very beginning. As a child, he dealt with ongoing health problems and grew up with a father in the military who was frequently absent. During those quiet, lonely stretches, Rick turned to reading history books, unknowingly building the knowledge that would later define his career. By his teenage years, he was already deeply involved in the world of buying and selling items, a passion that eventually led him to open the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop in Las Vegas. For many years, Rick's dedication to his work was unmatched. He put in grueling hours, often staying at the shop for entire days without rest, doing whatever was necessary to keep the business running. He wasn't just the boss, he was the electrician, the negotiator, the problem solver, and the driving force behind every deal. This relentless commitment helped him rise to the top of the pawn industry, but it also came with a price. It slowly wore down his health and overall well-being. As Rick grew older, the physical and mental strain of running the shop became harder to handle. Tasks that once seemed easy now required more energy, and the burnout that quietly built up over the years became impossible to ignore. A struggle familiar to many business owners who pushed themselves too hard for too long. Realizing that something needed to change, Rick began to think seriously about retirement, a transition many successful entrepreneurs find difficult. But for someone like Rick, stepping back isn't just a financial decision, it's an emotional one. His entire identity has been intertwined with the pawn business for decades, making the idea of walking away feel almost unimaginable. Pawn Stars brought Rick both fame and financial comfort, but it also came with complications. The show turned the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop into a major tourist hotspot, attracting visitors from across the globe. While this surge in popularity boosted business in some ways, it also shifted focus away from the shop's original purpose. What was once a functioning pawn shop gradually became a reality TV landmark. And yes, the responsibility of keeping the show successful, combined with the daily demands of managing the shop, added to Rick's exhaustion. Although he still loves the pawn industry, the endless filming schedule and constant expectation to be entertaining on camera slowly stripped away the joy he once found in the work. Fame also created distance. Rick and his family often had to keep themselves away from regular shop operations just to avoid being surrounded by fans. What used to be routine tasks became almost impossible without drawing a crowd. Financially, Rick is more than ready for retirement. He has taken a wise, diversified approach to investing, placing substantial funds in gold and silver, assets he knows better than most. He also maintains investments in established blue-chip companies and allocates a portion of his portfolio to higher-risk, speculative opportunities. This balanced strategy provides him with the stability and security needed to think about stepping away. But emotionally, retirement is far more complicated. Rick has admitted he's unsure what his future would look like without work. The pawn business isn't just his career, it's part of who he is. The fear of losing that sense of purpose makes the idea of retiring feel intimidating. Adding to the pressure is the example set by his father, known to fans as the old man. He continued working well into his 70s, and Rick often joked that his father would never have survived retirement. Now Rick sees a bit of that same fear in himself, the worry that leaving the business he spent a lifetime building could have consequences far beyond money. Even as Rick Harrison weighs the possibility of retirement, one major issue continues to trouble the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. Its evolution from a working pawn business into a full-blown tourist attraction. What was once a lively center for pawning, buying, and selling has gradually become a sightseeing hotspot, drawing fans who want to experience the Pawn Stars magic. With the explosive success of Pawn Stars, the shop's fame skyrocketed, turning it into one of Las Vegas's most visited locations. Every day, thousands of people line up outside, hoping to see one of the stars or grab a photo inside the iconic store. On a typical day, the shop now receives between 3,000 and 5,000 visitors, a staggering leap from the roughly 70 people who came before the show aired. This massive increase in foot traffic has brought both benefits and difficulties. More visitors mean greater exposure, but not necessarily more business. Most tourists come simply to look around, take pictures, and soak in the TV atmosphere, not to make purchases. As a result, the shop has struggled to maintain the same profitability it enjoyed when customers came primarily to buy or pawn items. To adapt, the shop has undergone multiple renovations, expansions, and updates designed to better accommodate the crowds and improve the visitor experience. Still, the main attraction for most people remains the stars and the show-related memorabilia, not the actual merchandise for sale. Another major consequence of this transformation is that Rick and his family can no longer interact with customers the way they once did. Their fame makes it nearly impossible for them to work the shop floor on a regular basis. When they do appear, it's usually for short autograph sessions, moments that bring normal business to a halt, as fans rush to meet their TV favorites. Many visitors leave disappointed when they realize Rick, Corey, or Chumlee aren't present during their visit. The constant filming of the show adds even more challenges. The shop often functions as a production set, with filming schedules determining when deals can take place. This creates a noticeable tension between the needs of running a real pawn business and the demands of producing a hit television series. Yet despite these hurdles, the shop continues to attract unique and valuable items, largely because of its worldwide reputation. People travel from different countries hoping to have their treasures appraised and maybe even be featured on the show. But the shift from being a high-functioning pawn operation to a busy tourist destination is just one piece of the larger struggles. Another major factor contributing to Rick Harrison's recent career decline is the legal controversy surrounding the gold and silver pawn shop. One of the most high-profile cases involves a Nevada man named David Walters, who filed a criminal complaint against the shop. Walters claimed that his niece, Jennifer Beckman, had stolen his $50,000 coin collection and sold it to the gold and silver pawn shop without his permission. The situation intensified when it was revealed that the shop had melted down the gold coins before the dispute came to light. Normally, pawn shops are required to hold items for a specific period, giving original owners a chance to reclaim their property. However, coins are exempt from this rule, which allows pawn shops to process and resell them quickly. Because the gold and silver pawn shop handles such a high volume of items, especially with its global fame coins and other valuables, often move through the system rapidly. In this case, the coin collection was melted down almost immediately, leaving Walters with no way to recover his prized possessions. A spokesperson for the shop defended their actions, saying the coins had been assessed and found to be worth far less than Walters claimed. But this explanation did little to calm the backlash. What might have been a routine dispute for an ordinary pawn shop exploded into a major headline due to the worldwide recognition of Pawn Stars. For Rick Harrison, the scandal was another damaging hit. The fame of the show has brought intense public scrutiny, meaning every mistake, big or small, becomes magnified. The negative press surrounding the melted coins only added to the mounting challenges Rick faces in trying to protect his business's reputation. And this wasn't the only legal issue. Over the years, the shop has faced numerous lawsuits, ranging from customer complaints to allegations of mishandling valuable items. Each case drains the business financially and tarnishes its image. Addressing these legal problems takes time, energy, and resources, all of which pull Rick and his team away from running the shop smoothly. Here is a fully rephrased, polished, and clean version of the entire passage. Rick Harrison's problems extend far beyond the business itself. They have spilled deeply into his personal life, most notably through a painful legal battle with his own mother. This family dispute has strained relationships, damaged Rick's public image, and created further complications for the gold and silver pawn shop. The conflict began when Rick's 81-year-old mother, Joanne Harrison, accused him of having her sign over her 51% ownership stake in the pawn shop without her full understanding. According to her, this happened shortly after she woke from a coma, at a time when she was still in a vulnerable state. The lawsuit claims that Joanne did not receive proper documentation about the business's financials, prompting her to demand a full accounting of the company's assets and a court order preventing Rick from using her funds. Joanne's legal filing contains several serious accusations. She alleges that Rick has not been transparent about how the business handles money and that she has been unable to obtain clear accounting records for over $500,000 in cash and silver that she believes her late husband, Richard Harrison, accumulated before his death in 2018. Concerned for her financial security, Joanne turned to the courts to protect what she believes is rightfully hers. Her lawsuit seeks unspecified damages and calls for a constructive trust to be established over the property she claims belonged to her. If successful, it could significantly impact Rick's net worth by putting much of the family's assets under legal review and possibly redistribution. Adding to the tension, Joanne also filed for a temporary restraining order against her son. She claims Rick stopped sending her the regular $25,000 monthly payments she had been receiving from Richard's share of the business, with those payments allegedly stopping in 2020. Without that money and facing expensive, ongoing medical needs, Joanne says she was left in a financially dangerous situation. The restraining order aims to prevent Rick from selling or hiding assets that could diminish her stake in the family business. Her filing underscores the enormous financial burden she faces, with monthly medical and personal expenses reportedly reaching up to $155,000. This financial pressure highlights the emotional and economic rift that now exists between mother and son. Rick, however, has strongly denied the accusations. He claims the lawsuit is baseless and suggests that others may be influencing his mother for their own benefit. He has also expressed frustration, saying he has tried repeatedly to contact her but received no response. His defense points to the deeply personal, complex nature of the dispute, making the situation even more difficult to navigate. The publicity surrounding this family battle has only added to Rick's problems. Media coverage has fueled speculation about his character and business ethics, tarnishing the polished public image that Pawn Stars built over the years. Instead of a united family business, the public now sees a fractured household fighting over money, control, and legacy. Beyond family and financial disputes, Rick's career has also suffered from public controversies. His political comments and treatment of employees have drawn widespread criticism and contributed to his declining reputation. In November 2015, Rick publicly endorsed Marco Rubio for president and voiced opinions about transgender bathroom policies. He suggested that allowing transgender individuals to use bathrooms matching their gender identity could be exploited by predators, a statement that was heavily criticized as transphobic. The backlash was immediate. Several companies that had previously endorsed Rick cut ties with him, leading to a significant loss of endorsement income. His approachable, everyman image took a major hit, particularly within the LGBTQ+ community. As if that weren't enough, Rick and the production companies behind Pawn Stars faced wage theft allegations. A New York Daily News report citing a Writers Guild of America East survey revealed that reality TV writers and producers, including those on Pawn Stars, were severely underpaid. Many were missing out on nearly $30,000 a year due to unpaid overtime, lack of breaks, and insufficient compensation. While scripted television writers earned much more, those working on Pawn Stars were reportedly paid as little as $2,136 a week. These allegations painted the show as an example of exploitation within the reality TV industry and raised questions about Rick's leadership and business practices. Rick's legal troubles didn't end there. In May 2012, Daniel Callahan, a disabled Vietnam veteran, filed a lawsuit claiming he was physically assaulted by both Rick and his late father, Richard. Callahan alleged that during an argument in the shop, he was put in a chokehold, dragged across the floor, and thrown outside. He sought $20,000 in damages, plus medical and legal expenses. Whether the case was settled or dismissed, the damage was done. The idea of the friendly, knowledgeable pawn shop owner clashed sharply with allegations of violence against a disabled veteran. Rick's personal life has also contributed to his career decline. His rocky history with relationships, including 3 divorces, has added another layer of scrutiny. His most recent split from Deanna Burdett in 2020 highlighted the ongoing instability in his private life. Before Deanna, Rick was married to Tracy Harrison for over 20 years. And before that, to Kim Harrison for only 3 years. Although divorce is a personal matter, being a public figure means these events shaped public perception. The media coverage surrounding his divorces portrayed Rick as someone who struggles with long-term stability, a stark contrast to the successful, steady businessman image Pawn Stars initially projected. In addition to Rick's marital troubles, the authenticity of Pawn Stars has become a major point of criticism. Over the years, multiple reports have surfaced, suggesting that the show is far more scripted and curated than it appears on television. While Pawn Stars is built around real historical items and genuine transactions, the behind-the-scenes process is heavily shaped by production demands. Contrary to what viewers believe, Rick, Corey, and Chumlee spend large portions of their time away from the shop, only showing up when cameras are rolling. This revelation weakens the illusion that fans are witnessing spontaneous, everyday activity inside a functioning pawn business. The scripting even extends into the negotiations viewers see on screen. Sellers are thoroughly vetted long before they appear, and many of the initial discussions take place off-camera. By the time filming begins, the deal is often already mapped out to fit the show's narrative. For longtime fans, learning this truth has been disappointing, even disheartening, because the biggest charm of Pawn Stars was the belief that everything happening on screen was raw and real. Rick's frequent absence from the shop only deepens this perception. With the day-to-day operations handled by numerous employees, many fans now feel that the Rick Harrison they see on television is more of a constructed TV persona than a real pawnbroker working the counter every day. Over time, this growing disconnect between the on-screen character and the off-screen reality has eroded Rick's credibility. The man once viewed as a steady, trustworthy expert has gradually been revealed to have a far more complicated and troubled personal life. This shift in public perception has contributed significantly to his declining popularity, and by extension, the ongoing struggles of the gold and silver pawn shop.